I need to talk about what I just witnessed. I've watched wrestling since 1984, 85. No, probably earlier than that, probably 83. When I was watching All-Star Wrestling and Rocky De La Serra was the big guy out of Vancouver. And I've never seen anything that feels like what I just witnessed. So, a few months back, Becky Lynch turns heel and the fans go, nope, and booed Charlotte instead. I agreed. Charlotte just fought Ronda Rousey, and it was a good match. I get worried for Ronda because she's not as well versed on taking bumps as you would hope somebody would be in a main event match, and yet they put on a match that's kind of saved the card. The rest of the card's been very forgettable. Very, I don't know what the hell's going on, and I don't care. And Brock Lesnar versus Daniel Bryan, I don't care about that either. But this one I kind of cared about because I thought, I wonder how they're going to play this. Charlotte turned at the end of the match. She's a heel now. And yet, the crowd turned on Ronda. So we went from a situation where the crowd was 50-50 to they were 100% behind Charlotte as soon as Charlotte started using a kendo stick and then a chair. Now, to me, they're clearly setting up the Four Horsewomen of the UFC versus the Four Horsewomen of the WWE. And if you're not aware of what exactly that would entail, I invite you to look it up. It's very entertaining. But they've made it clear that Bayley and Sasha don't have a whole lot going on right now. They're on two different brands, but you know what? This could work as a build to WrestleMania. Now, I talked in a video earlier today about how there's no builds being done. Tonight is the start of a build if they do it right. So coming out of Becky's injury, this is perfect. So Becky's out. Charlotte took Becky's spot and did exactly what Becky would have done in this match tonight. I have no doubt that the way this match ended up is the way that it would have ended up if Becky'd been in the match. Becky doesn't take a clean loss. It's a DQ win for Ronda Rousey, and then Becky beats the crap out of her after. Crowd goes nuts. Crowd loves it. The thing is, when Charlotte did it, the crowd went nuts. They turned on Ronda. Ronda's, bleeding from the mouth. She was bleeding from her ear. She had welts on her back and on her arm. She's pretty banged up. She took a lot of really quite nasty shots and bumps in this match. And I legit hope she's okay. Because she seemed to be favoring her shoulder. She wanted to throw the belt over her shoulder and decided not to. Now, whether that is because there's a kayfabe injury to a shoulder or she legit couldn't throw the belt over her shoulder, we'll see. But this is the kind of thing that we've missed from wrestling for a long time, where we watch something, we know it's rigged, we know it's set up, and yet we go, that's an odd reaction, that's an odd situation. How much of this is improv? When Ronda comes out of the ring and she gave a dirty look to everybody in the crowd, and if you're watching this, can you let me know what the guy in the crowd said to Ronda, that Ronda answered him and said, "You're not a man"? Or what was going on there? Because something got said, and she was out of character when she said, "You're not a man." And I'm sorry, but people can say what they want, but I would not want to make her angry in real life because she's legit tough. She's not, just because she's a girl doesn't mean you can just lip her off. And I'm wondering where it's going to go from here. Becky didn't come out. I'd kind of hoped that Becky might come out as a manager kind of thing, or just to watch from ringside or something, just to play off the heat she's got right now. But Charlotte, boy, I tell you, that was a Ric Flair level beating that she put on Ronda, and it was impressive. And then she threw the officials around, and she went back after Ronda a couple of times, which was just great. That's the kind of angle that if they can capitalize on this, it's great. They're on two different brands, so how are we going to do this? Is Charlotte going to invade Raw tomorrow? Does Ronda invade SmackDown the day after? Do we start going back and forth like this? I'm interested. Again, the women's division's interesting me more than the men's. And the Nia Jax side of things, too, is interesting because in the women's 5-on-5 match, the crowd was nuclear when it came to Nia Jax. They hated her because she delivered that punch that knocked Becky out of the event tonight. So this may just be a very short-term heat thing that anybody that's touched Becky is persona non grata with the crowd. It may be an LA thing. We may go to other crowds and see a completely different reaction. Wrestling works that way. But this feels like the women's division's hotter than the men's right now. And it's too bad because the Shinsuke Nakamura versus Seth Rollins match, I didn't watch all of it because I have to watch hockey too. But in what I saw, it was an absolutely amazing match. It was a very, very well put together match with no build. And it's too bad because that's a match that you could have main event any pay-per-view anywhere. Shinsuke Nakamura and Seth Rollins can tear the house down every single time. So that's somewhat frustrating to me that match gets thrown into the middle of the event. It's not a show opener. Show openers are usually fantastic. Show closers can be fantastic as well. And the rest of the show's kind of been whatever. It's the tag team elimination was boring. The 5-on-5 elimination match with Raw and SmackDown was whatever. The women's match was brutal. I don't know why Samoa Joe got eliminated immediately from the men's side. That was stupid. On the women's side, they eliminate Naomi first, and I'm like, really? That's the one you can get rid of? It just, there was a lot of things that happened in that I was like, oh. And what bothers me again is that Raw is running over SmackDown. And it doesn't help that SmackDown's seen as the B show when Raw wins every time they meet face-to-face and one-on-one. But even though Charlotte loses by a disqualification tonight, she won over those fans. That is, you can build the Four Horsewomen. You can do this. You can get Sasha and Bayley, who should be very disenfranchised right now with the entire Raw squad, and have them agree to go over to SmackDown. You can bring up the other 3 horsewomen from UFC, who I know 2 of them are very green, but Shayna Baszler is fantastic. This feud, if they do it right, if they do 4 versus 4, you could have an amazing WrestleMania. And it doesn't have to be 4 versus 4 at Mania. You could have all 8 of them in the Rumble, the Women's Rumble, and have feuds built from that. And you can have Becky versus Ronda at Mania. You can have Charlotte versus Shayna at Mania. And you could have the other 2 horsewomen against Sasha and Bayley. And just 3 matches right there. And a card that we could care about. And the men will get Braun versus Drew and some stuff, or things will happen. It just, I'm not sure if, do I give all the thanks to Triple H? Is Triple H behind all of this stuff? Because if he is, it's bloody genius. This has been great. Anyways, I'd be interested to know your thoughts in the comment section below, as always. Now, did Charlotte technically turn heel, or did she just join Becky? Because to me, it looks like she joined Team Becky tonight. But I'd be interested to know your thoughts. Hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. And thank you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.